Good morning to all of you joining us online. And great to be here once again. And we'll begin by just opening our hearts and allowing ourselves to be present to that divine presence. Allow ourselves to be a sanctuary of that presence. Here we go. Right key.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Sing that with us.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Sanctuary, sanctuary for you. Sanctuary, sanctuary sanctuary, sanctuary for you.
One more time.
Sanctuary, sanctuary for you.
Just breathe that in. Just be in this moment. Grateful to be here. And we're going to bring up, we don't need to bring her up because she's standing right there. Our platform assistant this morning, Carol Morris.
Could have just changed hats, right?
Yeah, you
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Let's settle in for our opening prayer, which seemed appropriate this morning with the subject matter. It's from St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. And so it is. Amen. Good morning again, everybody, and good morning to folks on YouTube and to the folks who will be watching this later on YouTube, especially those who are new to Unity Church in Albany this morning. And we are in the process of calling in a new minister, and so we have an affirmation for that we say together. So join me in doing this. Together, we affirm that we are calling in and are ready to receive a wonderful minister who is heart-centered, wise, humorous, sincere, collaborative, and well-organized, and who openly walks a spiritual path of growth, deepening consciousness, and love. And you have to do this with me. Yes! There we go. And so it is. And we added to that affirmation, yes. Yeah. We added to that affirmation that we are affirming that we are just the right congregation for this wonderful new minister. Okay, let's do this again. Yes! And so it is. All right. Okay. And so we have announcements about what's happening at Unity. First of all, you don't have to register anymore ahead of time. We with COVID, we're trying how to make this work, and it seemed it was just easier to have folks sign in when they arrived. So we have eliminated the pre-registration process. So if you wake up on Sunday morning thinking, I'd really like to go to church this morning, come on in, okay? All right. Our speaker today is Patricia Pearce, and the title of her talk is Our Quantum Leap in Consciousness. We're going to invite Patricia to pop in via Zoom to say hello and maybe say a few words about her talk this morning and the things that she's doing. Patricia, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me and see me?
We can hear you, and yes, we can see you.
Okay. Well, it's great to be with you all again today. I'm really looking forward to sharing this worship service with you. And my talk today will be about our quantum leap in consciousness and contextualizing some of what's going on and how it looks from where I sit. It's a turbulent time and one that is filled with hope. So we'll be looking at that during the talk today. And again, it's just really wonderful to be with all of you up there in Albany.
Awesome, thank you. And Roger mentioned to me that you're also starting an online spiritual community. Did you want to say a few words about that?
Well, yes. In the next few weeks, I'm going to be starting up a daily meditation that will be happening from noon to 12:30 Eastern. And also, I'm going to be opening up a new, I call it a We Awakening Circle. So that's, I've had a circle going for 2.5 years, and I'm going to open up another one. And it's a group of people who gather together monthly to support one another in their spiritual growth. And I'm also going to be relaunching my podcast with a new name, the We Awakening Podcast. So I hope to, get all of this up and running in the next few weeks. So if people want to sign up for my email list, they can be informed about that.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and looking a little bit further ahead, next Sunday, Bridget Beckman will be coming back to speak to us about the hard work of hope. And the following Sunday, our own Rob Geyer will be giving his talk. I don't have a title for that, but he's the author of the Little Buddha book series. So we'll be looking forward to that as well. We are starting, or back, we're here in the fall again, so it's time to start Faith in Action spirit groups. And so we invite you to start join a spirit group this fall. The book will be The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. This will be a 10-week series beginning October 11th, and we do have some books available to purchase. And you have 5 groups to choose from. On Tuesday morning, Peggy Kaufman will be leading a group at 9:30. At Tuesday at 1, Jim and Kay Fuller will be leading a group. Tuesdays at 6:30. Boy, Tuesday seems to be the day, doesn't it? Tuesday at 6:30, Dottie will be leading a group. On Thursdays, there are 2 groups at 6. Cheryl Collins and Elaine Lasdo will be leading a group, and Heather Diddell and Sam House will also be leading a group. Dottie? So I have a word from Dottie that Jim and Kay actually moved to Wednesday evening at, do we know at what time? At 7. We'll double check on that for you. We also just wanted to let you know about an opportunity to provide some support. We have created a Helping Hands Fund, and we're currently accepting donations to assist Danny Moore, our longtime custodian. And so we were thrilled for Danny that he is back at work after having hip replacement surgery in June. And some of you may know that Danny fell on hard times after his dad and then his mom fell ill and transitioned. And he had cared for them pretty much all his life. And when his mom needed nursing home care, the nursing home care required pretty much all the money that he had. So he had been living in his truck for the past 5 or 6 years. But some miracles occurred, and Danny has been able to move into an apartment, but he needs some financial support to get going with that as he transitions from homelessness to this new place. So as I said, Unity has created a Helping Hands Fund to put our values into action. So if you'd like to help Danny on his journey, please donate to Unity Church in Albany, but put in the memo that it's for Helping Hands for Danny Moore. And there's more information about Danny and his story on our website and in the newsletter. So thank you very much for that. The other thing that we have coming up is a community sing here in the sanctuary, either in person or online, on Sunday, October 17th at 7, with renowned song leader Roberta Kern. Am I pronouncing that right, guys? Kern? It's free, so please register if you're going to attend in person by calling the same number as you were calling for registering for church, which is 518-453-3603, extension 20, or just come.
Can I jump in?
Certainly.
We're just realizing here that we have no actual video feed going out. So they're hearing us, and we just ask you to bear with us. our regular AV guy, Phil, is not able to be here this morning, so we're hanging in and working on it. So hang in there with us. Thanks.
So you're just listening to my voice then, okay. So we do have our regular weekly Zoom meetings. On Monday evenings, we have the book study group. They're studying Divine Audacity. Dennis, what chapter are they up to? Chapter 11 of Divine Audacity. But that does, if you haven't been part of the group, you are still welcome to join at any time. And then Thursday mornings, the prayer chaplains hold their prayer hour at 9 a.m., prayer and fellowship hour via Zoom. The Friday get-together via Zoom is no longer happening. That has been laid down. So those are our 2 weekly meetings, besides our Sunday fellowship, which takes place after this service at 11:30 via Zoom. And the link is in the newsletter. If you have questions or comments or things that you want the board to know, please contact us. We're just us. We're your board of trustees. That's our job. That's what we're here for. And so you can call the church's number at 518-453-3603, extension 17. That's the extension for the board. Or you can email the board at unityalbanyboard@yahoo.com. So please, we want to hear from you. And we are a praying community. So the Unity Albany prayer chaplains are available to pray with you. You can call. You can also email. The extension for the prayer chaplains is extension 13, and their email address is unitypraise@unityalbany.org. That is all of the announcements for this morning. So let's settle back in again for the daily word. The daily word for this morning, Sunday, October 3rd, is faith. Through faith, I create the good I desire. Faith is my guiding light. It keeps me hopeful when I'm tempted to doubt, and cheerful when I might otherwise feel gloomy. Faith tells me that even when the sky appears cloudy, the sun is still shining brightly above the clouds. Faith gives me a secure footing in the present as I plan for the future. Faith is the assurance that I am never alone, that everything I dream and do is divinely inspired. Every step I take in the direction of my aspirations is fueled by faith that they can come to pass. All of the wisdom, power, love, and strength of God are mine to express as only I can. Leaving timidity and hesitancy behind, I use these divine attributes boldly and with confidence. Faith shows me the way forward. And from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Through faith, I create the good I desire. I invite the music team back up to join me again. I switch hats.
Hopefully you can see us now.
Gotta get you 2 different hats.
I do. Yeah.
So we'll do a little interesting, kind of a different sort of song for this part in the service. A little bit of a gospel feel to it. And if you want to get up and dance around, you're welcome to. All right.
All right.
Definitely a clap your hands kind of thing.
At least stand. Standing would be good if you're able. Goes like this. We
Gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up.
That's the whole chorus. Try it. We
Gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up, hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up.
Cool.
Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up.
Tell us about it, Gerri.
Just because you look like you and I look like me, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. You're not my enemy.
Don't you know we gotta
Hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up.
Tell us some more.
People all around the world sometimes feel so sad, but when others show they care, well, things don't seem so bad.
We gotta
Hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up.
one.
Those of you on the YouTube can't see the congregation, but as soon as we said dance, people got up like they were ready to dance, which was awesome. All right, so we have a couple of other things that we do every week. I should walk off and then come back on. We have our vision statement, the vision statement for Unity Church in Albany, which we can say together, maybe. You guys know this, is a world transformed through the spiritual awakening of all. And our mission statement: we awaken to and embrace the divine essence of all beings through prayer and service in our community and in the world. And we have our core values. It's all about love. So say these with me. We are a spirit-centered community. We warmly welcome all. We embrace diversity. We walk our talk with integrity. We are compassionate. We are joyful. We practice sweet service. We claim spiritual abundance. And the other statement that we make every week and affirm every week is our statement of oneness. So say this together with me. The power of Christ's love now releases me from any sense of separation from spirit or others. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is.
You guys can come back up, you know. And we'll do this to lead into Patricia's time with us. Our vision statement there is all about awakening, both individually and as humanity. And this song kind of piggybacks with that, and it's very much in line with Patricia's message. As you heard, her new venture is called We Awakening. That's what we're about too. So here we go. Awake my soul, be still and know there is go. With open eyes, I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. Try that.
Awake my soul, be still and know there is no place I need to go. With open eyes I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. Awake my soul, be still and know there is no place I need to go. With open eyes I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. Awake my soul, be still and know there is no place I need to go. With open eyes I hope to see the God in all, the God in me. The God in all, the God in me.
And with that, Patricia, welcome back.
Thank you, Roger, and thank you, musicians. That was truly beautiful. And it is my joy and my honor to be with you again today and to bring you this message to help us look a little bit differently at what we see happening in the world right now. And to start with, I'd like to share a dream that I had some years back. I don't know how many years ago, but in this dream, I'm gathered with a few other people, and we're watching something occur that we know is absolutely remarkable. And it's one of those dreams that is very numinous. And as we stand there, we watch this web being lifted up by all of these butterflies, and these butterflies are of every imaginable color. And they're lifting up this web, and the web is made of hexagons, like a honeycomb. And in each of the little cells, there's the outline of a burning candle. And we know, as we witness this event, that we are witnessing the rising of a new consciousness on the planet. And the dream goes on, and then I'm in a classroom, and I'm trying to tell people what we just witnessed, and people are so busy going about their days, and they're very distracted, and nobody is really paying any attention. And I think that that's the place that a lot of us find ourselves in, where we are recognizing that there is something very astonishing happening in our midst on this planet. But it isn't necessarily something that everyone can see or appreciate, because a lot of people are very much consumed with life in what is sometimes called a 3D world. And so we happen to be in this sort of frustrating place where we see something and we want to share what we see, but not everybody is in a place to receive it. And as I worked on that dream a little bit, one of the things that really struck me was the nature of this web, that it was comprised of individual cells, but they were all interlocking. to form a whole. And within each of them was this burning candle. And I'm really struck by the vision statement and the mission statement that you all have of awakening to the divine essence in all beings. Because one of the characteristics of this rising consciousness is the recognition that that divine light shines in each of us. And that even though we manifest on this plane as these seemingly separate selves, we are an interlocking whole. We are one fabric. We are one web. And so this consciousness is rising, and it is the consciousness of oneness. It is unitive consciousness. And of course, along with that goes the collapse of the idea of separateness, the collapse of the illusion of separateness that humans have been living from for a very, very, very long time. And we understand that it is time now for this illusion to collapse because the earth can no longer sustain that illusion for us. This idea of separateness, of us being separate from one another, separate from source, separate from the earth, it is no longer sustainable. And we recognize that at some deep level of our being. We know that the jig is up, that the time for our distractions and our illusions and our make-believe is over. And so we're in this moment, and it's a very tumultuous moment because what is happening is the death of a world that we have known. The death of the world that that consciousness of separateness created is now crumbling. And I want to share with you another dream that I had just very, very recently. And in this dream, I'm trying to explain to people what's happening on the planet. And I'm holding my hands up and I'm using the image of, or the metaphor of an electron to describe what's happening. And I'm explaining how when the electron makes a quantum leap to a new level of energy, it has to gather unto itself a lot of energy. It requires a lot of energy to make this quantum leap into a new state. And so I'm explaining how right now the concept of enemy is intensifying. And I'm like vibrating my hands to depict how this concept of enemy is intensifying so that it can finally collapse. And when that concept of enemy collapses, then this quantum leap will occur. And as I thought about that, I realized that enemy, the concept of enemy, is on the same spectrum as the idea of separateness. The concept of enemy is simply separateness taken to an extreme. And so that is the consciousness now that is collapsing, but before it collapses, it intensifies in order to make this quantum leap of consciousness. And I'm also aware that enemy, the idea of enemy, can take on many forms. We can see other people as an enemy. We can see other nations as an enemy. We can see our circumstances as an enemy. We can even see ourselves as an enemy, or aspects of ourselves as an enemy. And so we harbor this concept, this illusory concept of enemy within us, and by doing so we are maintaining and sustaining a false sense of self. We are sustaining an illusory self that arises from this misconception of separateness. Now, many, many, many years ago, this was, I don't know how long, 20 years ago, I was on spiritual retreat, and I was in New Mexico, Ghost Ranch, New Mexico, which is one of my favorite places to go. And they have a gorgeous, gorgeous labyrinth there. This is up in northern New Mexico, and it's a place that's surrounded by these beautiful red cliffs and mesas, and just a vast expanse of sky and land. And I was walking this gorgeous labyrinth that they have outdoors, and I love the labyrinth, and I walk the labyrinth every chance that I get. It's been a very faithful, loyal companion on my own spiritual journey. And usually when I go with the to the labyrinth, I have some sort of question that I'm posing, something that I want some insight into. But this time I didn't. I didn't have anything. I was just there. I was just experiencing the moment. I was walking, each step after the other and taking these twists and turns. And suddenly, out of the blue, this thought, this message was downloaded, and it said, "Release all concept of enemy." And it took me aback because I wasn't thinking about enemies, and I hadn't been even around people, and I hadn't had any occasion to to be harboring the concept of enemy. But that was the instruction: release all concept of enemy. And then it went on to say, there are no enemies. There are only those who do not know who they are. And that message for me was so potent because it was telling me that enemy is simply a concept. It has no basis in reality. It is simply an idea in the mind. And that there are no enemies in reality. There are no enemies. There are only those who do not know who they are. There are only those who do not know their own divine essence, who do not know the divine essence of all of us. Now, we can look around right now, especially here in this country, and we can see how the concept of enemy, the idea of enemy, is intensifying. We see that every day. We see the lengths to which the mind is going to keep this concept alive, such that even a pandemic, and pandemic is a word that means all people, even a pandemic would be cast in the light of enemy. And so it's this idea is intensifying, and I believe it's quite deliberate. It's like this: the mind is attempting to release itself from its own illusion by taking that illusion to such a ludicrous extreme that it recognizes it has no merit, that it is empty. There's that children's story, "The Emperor Has No Clothes." Well, the mind is doing this. It is intensifying these illusory concepts until it can perceive for itself fully that it has no clothes. This idea of enemy is empty. Now, this, I think that our country is experiencing this intensification, I believe, to a greater extreme than in most other places in the world. And I believe that is because we as a culture are so wedded to the idea of individualism. We hold that idea of individualism in the core of our collective psyche. And so, of course, letting go of this idea of separateness, letting go of this idea that there is such a thing as a separate individual, is more tumultuous for this culture than for most, because it is the collapse of our own self-understanding. And I believe that is why this concept of enemy is intensifying to such a degree in this country. Now, one of the things that I liken this to is back in the day, before they had managed to break the sound barrier, people believed that it wasn't possible to break the sound barrier, because planes, when they got to a certain speed, the plane would begin to shake and shake and rattle, and it was believed that the plane would fly apart if it flew any faster, if it broke that sound barrier. And what was actually happening aerodynamically was that the sound, the plane was approaching the speed of its own sound, the sound of its own engines. And so it was running into its own sound waves, and it was compressing those sound waves such that it was creating this very, very turbulent ride. And most pilots at that point backed off because they believed that it wasn't possible to break this so-called sound barrier. But once finally somebody decided that they were going to just keep accelerating. And once they broke through that barrier of their own sound waves, then it became completely still. And that's when they realized that the sound barrier, it isn't really a barrier. And I think that that's what we are experiencing right now collectively. We are accelerating into the reality of oneness. We are accelerating into the reality of love. And as we do that, these waves, these sound waves, if you will, of that egoic self are becoming compressed. And some of us might want to back off and say, well, it's clear that, love doesn't work. It's clear that this idea of enemy is here to stay. It's clear that we have to operate within those parameters of the separate self, and we need to be, aggressive and hostile and see others as our adversary. We give up on the power of love. We give up on breaking through this illusory barrier. But now is exactly the time for us to be accelerating our expressions of love, to be accelerating in our own minds our apprehension and our appreciation and our gratitude for our inherent oneness. And so, yes, it's a rocky, rough ride we're on right now. It is very, very tumultuous. And I would like us to just hold that, all of that in love, and to understand that what is happening is more than this, much more than this conflict that we see playing out. It is the collapsing of the very idea of enemy, which will enable our quantum leap in consciousness. And so I'd like to lead us now into a time of guided meditation. And I'm going to bring up a screen share for this. And I invite you to go ahead and allow yourself to settle fully into this moment. Allowing yourself to breathe into this moment. Bringing your awareness to the sensations of the body. Becoming aware of the sensations of breath as it moves in and out of the body. And now gently bring your awareness to the heart center. Allowing the breath to move in and out of the heart center. With each breath, allowing the heart center to expand more fully. Touching and mingling with the heart center of all who are present. and welcoming the spirit entities and guides that are in our midst, that are here to support us. Now allow to arise in your awareness some of the ways in which you perceive through the concept of enemy. Let yourself become aware of how you perceive others, the world, your circumstances, yourself as enemy. Simply allow this to arise in your mind without any resistance or judgment. Now allow yourself to feel the aspect of you that has labored through life, living from this concept. Let yourself feel its burden, perhaps its weariness. Hold that aspect of yourself in gentleness and compassion. Now allow yourself to feel into what your life might be like, how it might be different if the concept of enemy did not exist for you. How might your experience of the world be different? How might your sense of who you are be different? If you are ready, say to yourself, I am willing to accept that enemy is an illusory concept. I am willing to release this concept on behalf of my own awakening and for the transformation of the world. to experience fully my own divine essence and to recognize the divine essence of all. Now gently bring your awareness back to your heart center. Back to the breath. Back to the sensations of the body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Patricia. We'd like to kind of respond to your message with a song. And I just put all the lyrics up in the chat because there's a lot of them. And as we were going over the song, the lyrics meant a lot to us. And it takes a while to digest them all. So,
I feel a shifting in my soul. I have no strength to defy it. A river out of control, and I tumble inside it. It's like an earthquake within. The earth tilts as it spins, and I curse as I swim. This shifting in my soul, it's called awakening. I had been walking in my sleep, although I did not know it. For denial ran deep while the cannons were loaded. The battle stole away my rest. Depression held me to its breast. Oh, what a bitter caress. No more walking in my sleep, I was awakening. I cannot say that I am glad for all the pain and the anguish, but I am grateful for the path that gave my heart a new language. I learned the power of friends, and in a chain of many hands, I can dance my own dance. I am following the path of awakening. I used to live life in my head, proud of intellect and judgment. And now I turn my trust instead to my heart and my conscience. Who changes frightening, but as I raise my voice to sing, I feel a marvelous thing. I am joining humankind, I am awakening. I am joining humankind, I am awakening. I am joining humankind, I am awakening. I am joining humankind, I am awakening.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it is time for our offering. Those of you who are new, and we have a couple new folks here, welcome. We're not passing the basket these days, but we invite you to use a red mailbox out on the other side of the lobby. You'll see it hanging on the wall, and you can put your offering in there in whatever form. And also, we invite you to continue to do your tithes and donations online through PayPal or Vanco. You can find that on our website. And for all that we have and all that we're able to give and be, we say together our offering blessing, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are blessed to know that Spirit is our source. Thank you, Father, Mother, God.
So it is.
Amen. Want to thank very much. Want to thank Lamont Snyder for pitching in today and running our AV under some duress. He's never done this on his own in the morning. So, yes, thank you so much. And we move on to our blessing for our youth, and we bring young people in our lives to our minds and hearts, hold them before us, and we say to them, here it comes,
God loves
next
you.
slide.
Yeah.
God loves you and accepts you just the way you are, and I love you and accept you just the way you are.
I behold the Christ you are.
And we allow in the silence, we allow them to reciprocate. Say that back to us. Take a deep breath and say, thank you, amen. And we move then to our
Prayer for protection.
prayer for protection. And together we say, the
Light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Amen.
Yes, you are. Yes, we are. And we'll do a little closing song here. Point out that we did send out a newsletter on Friday with a lot of stuff coming up. If you're not on our email list, go to unityalbany.org, and you should find at the bottom of the homepage a little sign-in sheet where you can sign up for that. And you can also find a lot of the same information on that website. I think there might be one or two things I didn't get up yet, but it'll get there. I'm trying to think of the most important ones. You mentioned them, Carol, during the announcement, so that should do it. John Welshons will be here in early November, one of our beloved friends in spirit who, not in spirit, he's in body still. Sorry, John, if you're watching. And we're not sure if he'll be here in person or by Zoom that week, but either way, he'll offer an afternoon workshop that afternoon. So you'll find out more about that coming up. Okay, we have a closing song to do. You're welcome to stand and join us on this chorus. Only love can do that. Words of Martin Luther King inspired this song. And in honor of Martin Luther King Jr., I'm going to tune. I know this is so much fun for you tuning in.
Much more fun after you tune.
Yeah. All right, getting close. I think I'm going to do it. Yes. Here we go. Am I in the right key, Pete?
It doesn't sound right.
That would do it too. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
You're always in the right key, right?
Yeah.
We're not in the same key.
Woo, here we go. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. Again. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. have a wonderful week. Blessings to all of you. Good to have you here.
Wonderful to have people
Thanks so
here.
much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.